Hey guys, Keith again with Bulletproof RC, and this is a follow-up video of my Traxxas Unlimited Desert Racer. I've ran this thing a few times and I've had a great deal of fun. This will be a short video, but just wanted to give you a follow-up opinion of this vehicle. First of all, this thing handles like a dream. It's just simply amazing the way it's planted. With a solid rear axle vehicle, you usually don't get control and precision like you do with this vehicle. It's just simply amazing at the terrain this thing will absorb. And you guys need to rest easy out there. If you've watched the video of the guy who broke the A-arm, this is a very durable vehicle. Nothing has broken on this vehicle. I will say I did change out the stock servo. I had a servo laying around, and it was I think around a 400-inch torque servo. And it was just sitting there, so I used it. It was digital servo, which is important for the Traxxas TS, whatever their stability control is. I think it's TSM. I changed out my radio to my Spectrum DX4C, so I am running AVC in this rig instead of the TSM, and of course running with the digital servo. I've had no failures whatsoever. I know there are some complaints out there on servos failing on these vehicles, but I did change mine out, so I can't attest to the durability of the servo. But everything else, this thing is nice. Now, I mean, somebody out there is going to be able to break it, of course. You know, you can hit obstacles in a certain angle or whatever, anything has its limits to what it'll take, and stock A-arms on any vehicle can break, under the right circumstances, temperature, angle at which impact takes place. All these different things are factors. But I've jumped this thing and driven it pretty roughly, and I can say that so far I'm very impressed. Now, I'm more of a scale driver. I haven't sent this thing 10 foot in the air or anything like that, anything ridiculous. I like my vehicles looking realistic. So, more than a couple of feet off the ground, you're getting into the extreme with something like this. But I've had a great deal of fun with it. I primarily have been running 4S. In my first video, I mentioned how controllable it was on 6S, and that is true. But the motor temperatures do get kind of high running 6S. After a full run, you need to let this thing rest a little bit before you put a second battery in, because that motor does get quite warm. For me, 4S is plenty. It's like I said, back to the scale thing again. You're going to get in the 30-mile-an-hour range on 4S, and I know there's people out there that say, oh, 30 miles per hour, that's slow. Well, again, go back to scale things, scale thinking here. If this is a 1/7 scale rig, I know Traxxas doesn't call it 1/7, but let's just say it's 1/7. If you do the math, 30 miles per hour is pretty stinking fast. It's in the 150, 200 mile an hour range, so per scale. So it's pretty realistic at that speed. You put 6S in this thing, you're going 50 miles per hour. If you think of it in a scale term, if you took a 10th scale rig, 50 miles per hour, that's 500 scale miles per hour. So yeah, that's why your RC cars break, people, because for what they're built for and everything, they're hitting excessive speeds, and a lot's going on. But anyway, just want to show you guys a couple things. As you can see, dirt just literally, I was in a dusty environment, got dirt falling. It's pretty filthy. I mean, what I've been doing to clean this thing is I've been taking the screws out of the bottom, taking this skid plate off, and well, not this, but this. Take the skid plate off, blow everything out with an air compressor, really good. I've been taking the 12 screws out of the body and pulling the body off as well, blowing everything out real well. And then I go back with some Simple Green. Simple Green is a really cost-effective solution, and no harsh chemicals in it for your vehicle or environment. Spray it down with some Simple Green, hit it with an air compressor again, and then after that, grab you a can of WD-40 and spray down all your components, your driveline components, bearings, axles, your CVDs, all that good stuff, and let that soak for a few minutes. You can spray it on your plastics too. It's good conditioner for your plastics. Let it sit for a few minutes, blow it off one last time, which will be your third time, and then reinstall everything. You're good to go. It's pretty simple. This thing is super duper complex. I went in there the other day. I pulled the bottom plate off and was thinking about changing the pinion on the motor, and you know, it's got the new Traxxas proprietary pin setup design or whatever, but unlike the previous vehicles that used that, like the X-Max, it's got a ABCD code system in there, and I couldn't find any documentation on this rig on how to set the pinion, so I just put everything back together the way it was designed, and I decided to run it on 4S, and I was thinking about gearing it down for 6S, but you know what, it runs so good on 4S and the motor temps are good. I think that's the sweet spot for this vehicle, in my opinion. I know there's people out there, oh no, you gotta run 6S, you know. Well, you know, do what you want, people. I mean, that's the fun of the hobby, is make it your own. You know, get it done. And if you burn your motor up on 6S because of motor temperatures, I'm sure Traxxas will send you a shiny new one. So, you know, you're probably good there as long as you don't change things on the vehicle. But you know me, I'm excessive with my, I like keeping things real cool, and I like efficiency when it comes to electronics. But yeah, look at all that dirt up in there, guys. But man, I'll tell you what, this thing even looks better dirty. It really does. So if you're one of those people that don't care, you know, about how clean your vehicle is, bring it in, blow it off, and of course you want to oil up your driveline components, but you know, spray some WD-40 on those components, blow it off again, and be done. Don't worry about the simple green if it doesn't bother you. But you know, for those of us like our vehicles looking nice, shiny, and new, then you know, that's an easy way to do it. But that'll be all for this video, guys. Just wanted to give you guys a progress update, and so far, I like it. It's a wonderful truck. It's fresh and new. I love the scale, size of it, and because it's, you know, it's bigger. I mean, I've got a SCT. That's the Arma Sentin in the background, and I know it's way in the background back there, but man, it's a huge difference in the size comparison between this and that. So anyway, that'll do it for this video, guys. As always, like and subscribe to Shoe Fits, and have yourself a great day.